Thanks.
But don't we also need to like broadcast to YouTube or no?
No, it's, you don't have to.
Okay. Okay, just a moment. Here we are. Suppose that's what we need ourselves here. And because this is all being run from this computer, I can't display the agendas, but
Yeah. Well, watch face. It's like 6 p.m.
Okay, Donna, did you get the email?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you have something before you go to second?
Chris, can you hear us?
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, we're live.
We're good?
Yeah.
Okay, it's 4:37 on June 20th. Call this meeting for HCDPA to order. Sarah, can you take a quick roll?
Sure. Chair Moranti,
Here.
Treasurer Wallace.
Here.
Secretary Joyner. Here. Mayor Johnson. Here. And Rhonda Smith is absent.
Thank you. So we'll go to the minutes. Everybody get a chance to read the minutes?
Yes.
Can I get a motion to approve our minutes?
All motion.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed.
My emotions. Okay.
Next is Miss Admin report.
Nothing terribly new to add. I still haven't heard back about the local government records management improvement fund grant. Did we call up Zoom again?
I think we just, Chris, you can hear us, but I think we're just gonna just.
It's kind of tough to hear, maybe you can tell me in front of the person who's speaking, or, or just call my attention if you're, if you have a question.
We'll do that, okay.
We can also project.
Yeah.
Haven't heard back from local government records management improvement fund grant yet. And
That's, excuse me, that's the grant for the paperwork.
that's correct.
Okay.
We were. I think that's all I need to say, yeah.
You're good?
Yeah.
Okay, so we turn it over to the treasurer for the treasury report.
Oh, sorry. There was no activity this month. The reconciliations for the opening and closing balances of both the housing trust fund account and our main account were the same as they were from the previous month. The one thing to note is that we do need to have a couple of signatures on one check in particular that we did not get to sign from last month, and that is why we don't have the balance.
And the housing justice director checks that we wrote.
Oh, they did.
Were deposited on June 1st,
Right.
so they're not reflected on this statement. For me.
No money in, no money out, at least on this one.
And
Oh, do we want to bridge it now?
which one?
The migration.
Yes, though I didn't nail down a specific number. For what it would cost.
Net, we would like the board's permission and approval. And Chris, I don't know if we need a resolution to do this or not, but we are now at the point where we need to migrate to QuickBooks Cloud. And
I asked Matthew at UHY if there was any sort of issue with that, us being a government agency, and he said absolutely not.
no,
What does that mean?
It's an online version of QuickBooks, which means right now we only have QuickBooks. It's a file that lives on this computer hard.
And only you have access. or-
yeah.
Well,
And this way we would both be able to do
Yeah.
reconciliations remotely, and that's what the auditors recommended so that we can invite them in and they can start looking for free funding.
Okay, sounds like.
So we'll come, I guess, next meeting.
I suppose we. Zoom is back online.
So Ryan, I would think you might want to consult the accountant about this, but I would think you might want a written procedure about who has authorization to do these things. Right.
They gave us that. That was in the,
Okay.
that was in the annual. That's why we're saying to do it now. They said it would be one seat for an administrator, obviously one for the treasurer, and one seat
Mhm.
for them. So that what they would be able to do is, rather than having to process us at tax time like everybody else,
Right.
they would have a monthly ability to be able to go in and when it comes time for tax season, it's a very quick expedition or expediting of our
But
files.
that's through QuickBooks, I'm talking about your bank accounts, they don't have access to your bank account, so they do.
No, but that, no, they don't, no, they won't, and that's, you can
Right.
provision that off through the primary licensee
No,
within QuickBooks, if we're hooking that up.
I'm sorry, Ryan, I think, Chris, are you talking about how I sort of moved on topically?
Oh,
I was
sorry.
saying to transfer funds from the Housing Trust Fund account to the HCDPA account, it is a very simple, just online transfer on the Bank of Greene County website.
Oh, yeah,
But
I would still, the only thing I would need is the permission from the board and reflected in the minutes to do that.
we could do it right now in front of God and everybody.
Okay.
So we need a
What are you
motion to, have Ryan, transfer funds, that we're doing?
That's,
How much is for what purposes, what you're.
Correct.
So
Yeah,
this
state
is-
it all.
yeah, so, and then Teresa, this is, we've talked about this before, but this is, every year, the Housing Trust Fund is committing a certain amount to the
Yes.
overhead of the agency. This year it's $10,000 and we haven't made that transfer yet. So that's what we're talking about.
So you have access to the Housing Trust Fund money to be transferred into the HCDPA account?
Technically I do because I have credentials to view the online banking services and my account, I think, has this capability.
And that board doesn't have anything to say about that or have to know about it?
They already did approve this
They did?
in the
Okay.
minutes publicly, as part of their budget process, but we obviously couldn't just do this willy-nilly. So then, yeah,
So I'm just looking, can I have a motion for Ryan to transfer $10,000 from HTF, Housing Trust Funds, to our account? That's what we're looking for from Bank of Greene County, correct?
For the purposes.
For the purposes of budgeted amount for our overhead.
Yearly. So,
Budgeted admin fee to the HCDPA, is that what this is?
Yes.
yes. Okay,
I'll second.
so Teresa moved, Camille seconds,
All in favor?
I,
Good.
all right,
we did that,
I will produce a receipt for both ourselves and the Housing Trust Fund before the next meeting.
and the minutes will reflect what the reason is.
Correctly.
and then there's one more invoice, which is my invoice for $270.
I motion to pay it.
Second.
By the way, I'm just gonna say it is way overdue, guys. so-
Well, no, there's a new one, we already approved the one from last year.
Oh, that's what we got signed.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
we have two, they're just the same amount.
But yes, motion to pay.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
So, okay.
And Michelle had sent an invoice for the Greater Hudson Promise Neighborhood's second disbursement, but Chris looked back at the contract and it's actually not due in July. So-
Yeah. And we're meeting July 5th, I thought. 5th or 12th.
The fourth is the,
No, the idea.
No, the idea.
That's the one you responded
Yeah,
to, okay.
the fourth is the first Tuesday is the fourth, so does it automatically kick forward? I mean, do we do like a bank or like a?
No, because everything will be closed because of the federal holiday leading up to the 4th. So businesses reopen on the 5th. Meetings can then resume on the 5th. So
But it is an authorized expenditure under, it's in fact, it's a required expenditure under the contract, right? So, I think the board can authorize the payment to be made on July 1st, as long as you are
perfect.
comfortable with the reporting and the compliance at this point with the existing contract, right?
Yeah,
Okay. That's great.
it falls in line with it. She's produced all the documentation that we needed, so yeah.
Okay, so can I have a motion to pay, Promise Neighborhood, the budgeted amount, on July first?
$17,500.
What was it, 2,000?
17,000.
17,500?
and that's the amount we promised.
Yeah, it's
Correct.
half, it's the
35,
second
yeah.
half of the contract.
Second installment, yeah.
So moved.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Done.
So I'll just come, I didn't print that check yet, so.
But I'll meet up with you
Okay.
this week or next.
Yeah, we'll circulate it. That's the financial report and the bill approval.
So we got resolutions?
No new
No.
resolutions. But we do have sorry. Yeah, no new resolutions, but so we can move on to old business if you'd like.
So We're in that
Yeah.
Hudson Housing Trust Fund, is that what we're in
What we just do?
Yes, Michelle isn't here to give an update, but we do have, she did circulate a interest letter from a potential new board member. And this board needs to consider the interest letter.
Okay.
Did you all have a chance to read the letter?
I don't remember, what was her name? It was Erica?
Alexandra Edwards.
Alexandra.
How
Um,
many members are on the board?
7 currently, they can have 9, I believe.
So this will be the 8th or is replacing someone?
it will be the,
Yeah, this will be the 8th, but there might be some movement on the board, so we are recruiting more people just because it's tough to get a
Yeah.
quorum. Everybody in the night. Now that means are in person.
So you're looking to recruit to the maximum of 9,
Yeah,
Want to cover.
so you have one more.
yeah, to at least have a quorum.
So, can I get a motion to, if everybody's comfortable with,
I want to ask a
consent?
question, how is recruiting done?
I think Michelle said stuff about the interest.
Yeah,
Can I get a motion if everybody's comfortable, unless we have any questions for Michelle for next time, for Alexandra,
So,
a second.
all in favor?
aye.
great.
Any opposed? No.
I'm not opposing anybody who wants to get involved and help.
Right. Start.
So we did new business, we already did click those,
Yeah, we already talked about session.
so we're at public comment.
I think so.
Yeah,
Is there any public comment at this time? Guess not.
after
Can I get a motion to adjourn?
a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can we turn the heat on then too?
Oh, leave it.
How's
See you tonight, Carol.
meeting on record?